So the first thing is on-campus interviews. Susan mentioned Frog Jobs. This is an excellent resource for all of you as students here at TCU. It's open to any student, any major, even our alumni if they would like to request access. So really, really become familiar with Frog Jobs if you haven't had a chance to. If you're having trouble logging in, you're not familiar with it, come see us. We'll be glad to help you. A couple of things about on-campus interviews. So most importantly, when an employer comes here to campus, it makes it very easy for you, makes it very easy for the employer. So take advantage of that. Tweak your cover letter. Target that cover letter in your resume to really make a lasting impression when you're in person interviewing with that company that's here on campus. So take the time to really be mindful of that interview. Also, look at the instructions in Frog Jobs as far as the application instructions. Are they asking you to also apply on their website? Are you just to submit your resume through Frog Jobs? Are there some additional data points that you need to be aware of preparing for that on-campus interview? So keep that in mind. Secondly, the interview itself. So you submit your resume, you've been selected, you get on their interview schedule. Now the big day has come. Some of you may have had more interviewing opportunities than others. So again, make sure first and foremost, take note to do this, research the job, research the company. Make sure that you go into that on-campus interviewing feeling confident that you know about the company and you know about the job that you're interviewing for. Because again, your chance to be in front of this employer is your chance to make a difference and stand out. Third in that is to follow up. We really strongly encourage each and every one of you to write a handwritten thank you note 24 hours after your interview. I know you're thinking, Laura, are you kidding? In the day of electronic communication, I can send an email, wham, bam, I'm done, check it off the list. No. Buy the stamp, go to the post office, put it in the mail. Really, really nice touch to send a follow-up thank you note to the employer after you've interviewed with them. A couple other things in the before process. So the second bullet point says anticipate deadlines. We talked about that previously, about making sure you look in Frog Jobs and make sure you know when the resume submission dates are, because most employers are very firm with this. And you can call up Susan and I and say, oh, please, but I had a test, I'm sorry, I missed the deadline. And we can try to call the employer to sweet talk them, but 9 times out of 10 they're going to say, this job's been posted and open for 2-3 weeks. What were they doing? So again, really show the initiative that you're detail-oriented and follow up, and that this is important to you and you anticipate those deadlines. Also, as Susan mentioned, really be thoughtful in the semester in which you start planning for when your internships are. Because again, these recruiting cycles come fast, they come furiously. So really plan accordingly and anticipate those deadlines of when you want to be interned. Keep that in mind. And I recently read, our Director of Career Services wrote an article, and in his article he stated a report from the National Association of Colleges and Employers stating that 85% of the students hired in 2010 had internships. So again, reiterating Susan's point, this is very, very important, and we really appreciate you all taking the time to be here tonight to really focus on this. So anticipate deadlines, keep that in mind. Third bullet point says talks about accepting and declining the offer. So again, with the recruiting cycle being fast and furious, you may be interviewing for several internship opportunities in the fall, preparing for your spring internship pretty quickly. And you may get one offer and think, well, wait a minute, I have another interview on Friday. I don't know, I need to be mindful of this. Ask the employer for time to consider. You don't need to tell them who all you're interviewing with and when your interviews are. Just, again, ask the employer for time to consider the offer, okay? And once you make your decision, be pretty firm in that decision. So once you decide you're going to accept the intern offer, consider yourself off the market. No more window shopping. Consider yourself off. If you are going to decline the offer, which is fine, it may not be the right fit for you, it may not be the right opportunity to further your growth and your development in your major, that's okay. Just be professional, be clear, and be concise. When you contact the employer, you don't need to give them every reason under the sun as to, oh, I don't like the commute, the hours are too long, the pay is too low. No. Just give them the high level, thank them for the opportunity, and politely decline. But just keep that in mind. It is an option. Lastly on this slide is the learning objectives. And Susan spoke to this earlier, but we again want to make sure that you understand how important this is in the before phase. Because you want to make sure when you are having this internship experience that it is an effective internship opportunity. What makes an effective internship? Again, you want to make sure that there's a beginning and an end, that you have a true job description. There is truly a task in which you'll be responsible for. You want to make sure that you have an intentional learning agenda. You know, walking away from your internship, being able to say, I can make the best cup of coffee in the office, and I really did a good job practicing my ABCs, filing the file room all afternoon, really not the intentional learning objective that we're hoping you get from your internship. So in order to do that, in the beginning, set up performance review discussions with whoever's going to supervise you, because it's the only way that you're going to get effective feedback and constructive criticism in your internship to really help you grow. So set all that up on the before. Once you've gone through the accept and decline, you have this great internship opportunity in front of you, make sure that you really think about an intentional learning agenda and a really effective internship process.